Good afternoon. Hi, this is Jason Lipfeld, and this is January 2022. We're excited to have you here with us today. This is the annual Winter Workshop Series for the Hostos Student Leadership Academy, and we're doing this for 14 years. Pre-pandemic, we used to get together in a big room, eat breakfast and lunch together, even some dinner sometimes. Spend like from 8:30 in the morning to 5 o'clock at night for 4 days, sort of coop with each other, but actually like really sort of investing in one another, learning from one another, and having really extraordinary experiences with fascinating intellectual speakers who were bringing great ideas to the forefront. We had to change the modality because of the pandemic, and we're doing it virtually for the second year. But I can say that the 8 inspirational thinkers, the dynamic personalities of each one of them, and their life experiences and their expertise are extremely valuable. And so we're privileged to have with us this afternoon Cyrille, and he's going to be introduced in a minute by one of our members. I just want to do a little housekeeping before we get started. So the folks in the side in your list of participants that have the WW on their name, those folks are members of the Winter Workshop Committee. And if you have a question, you can't reach me for one reason or another, you can reach out to them, and they will answer any questions that you have and follow up with you. We'll also put some things in the chat throughout the course of the session so that if you need information or we're sharing information like LinkedIn, addresses and things like that we did in the last workshop, that they'll also be there. And somebody asked about the certificate in the chat right before we started. Yes, so folks who are going to attend, 7 to 8 of these workshops are going to receive a certificate at the end of this. It's not going to happen like the day after the workshops end. We have to actually prepare them. But it will be done electronically. So even if you're not a student from Hostos, if you're a student from one of the other colleges that's joining us today, you will be able to get the certificate. And there will be more information as we go through the week on that. I'll try to put some stuff in the chat. And definitely at the end of the week, when we send out the email with a survey about your experiences here this week, we will talk about the certificate. And as far as the attendance is concerned, when you registered for the program, whichever workshop you registered for, it took down your information, and so when you log in, your information is kept there so that we have an accurate sense of who's attending each of the workshops. So without further ado, I want to thank you all for being here on time. We're going to let some other folks in the room as we move along. But Tiana, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Hi.
All right, let
How's
me
everyone
pin you,
doing?
and then let me get myself out of here, and you can go ahead.
All right. Cyril, it's great to see you again. Glad to see you in the space.
Nice to
Um,
meet you.
all right, everyone. I'm introducing Cyril. Cyril migrated to the United States from Cameroon in 2007 to pursue his American dream. He holds an associate's degree in communications and media arts from Westchester Community College, where he enrolled as an adult learner. His journey continued through CUNY Lehman College, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Multimedia and TV Studies, and went on to graduate with a master's degree in Fine Arts Film from the City College of New York. After graduating from City College, Cyril's passion for leadership and mentorship and student development allowed him to serve as an executive director of the CUNY University Student Senate. After his graduation from the City College of New York, Cyril is the founder of the nonprofit organization My Sister Cares Foundation, with which he travels to orphanages throughout Africa, donating computers, toys, school supplies, and clothes to children in need in memory of his late sister, Sheila. Cyril is also a founder of a personal development concept called The Power of the Mind. Cyril organizes yearly motivational conferences to assist young leaders gain more confidence through the power of their mind. He has also worked as a director of photography on several film projects, such as the web series Bughetto 2014 directed the documentary The Water I Shall Give Them, 2013, and The Rebirth, 2018, produced an award-winning short film, Miles the Movie, 2019, and acted in the second season of the Netflix series Master of None in 2017. Cyrille Njikeng now serves as a managing director of the New York City nonprofit organization called the Oyate Group. He has a passion for community engagement and hopes to continue positively inspiring the Bronx community and the world through filmmaking, motivational speaking, and life coaching. Without further ado, Cyrille, take it away.
Thank you so much, Tatiana Cordero.
You're welcome, no problem.
Happy New Year, everyone. Let's give a virtual hug and positive energy to Tatiana Cordero and Jason Lipfield, Andre Thompson, all the great people who made everything possible to make this happen. You know, it's always a pleasure being here. It's not the same thing, right? When he's on Zoom. Yeah, but we always make it work. You know, since last year we make it work. We know what time we live in. You know, this is the pandemic. So we, before I start, I want to. How many people do we have here? We have 22 people so far. I would like to have 4 people who volunteer to put on their cameras, so that we can have a discussion to start. Just 4 people, it will be enough. Everybody else can be secret. Thank you, Andre Thompson. Camera is up. Rudwan Gatani, he watched the game yesterday. Can you put on your camera? Thank you. I'm going to start calling out people.
Really?
We have Buampundi Bridget. Oh, that sounds like a name from my village. Wow. Is that my cousin?
I don't think I would be able to put the camera on because a lot of distraction for.
That's cool. I like that. I mean, remember, you're speaking to a father, right? So it's good to know. It's good to know that you're on duty. Yeah. So we have 3 more people. Let's give me 3 more people on camera so that we can discuss. But today we'll be talking. Before we start, who can tell me what we're talking about today? What's the topic? What's the topic of our workshop today? Chancellor, thank you for putting on your camera. Yanira, how you doing? What are we talking about today? Someone put on your mic. Can tell me what today's theme of the workshop is?
Start by showing yourself.
Who's that? Who said that?
Me?
Yanira? Yes, thank you so much. Showing yourself, right? Start by showing up is the title, is the theme. And I remember the day Jason hit me up to present, and I sent him the topic. He sent me back at me, he was like, really? That's it? And I was laughing, I was dying behind my computer. I was like, I'm sure he was shocked, right? Yeah, but it sounds so easy. And sometimes the themes that we come up with when we're presenting sound so making not sense until you actually start breaking it down. You know, then you understand where we come from, where most of the great speakers are coming from, and where most of the presenters are coming from. So the angle, we're going to take that today. Thank you so much, Yanira, for reminding us about the theme. Start by showing up, right? Show up for yourself or no one else will. So before we get in that theme, I want to ask you, first of all, I want to have someone that will be going through the chat. You know, if there's any question to the chat, just stop me and let's answer the question. Andre, you want to do that? Yes, Andre is doing that. Thank you so much, Andre. We have a timekeeper, right? It says 3 hours, but guess what? Through my little experience of speaker and motivation, After 1 hour, 30 minutes, everybody is zoned out, even if you're, except if it's Michael Jackson concert, right? So we're going to make sure that this is very interesting so that we'll hit our 1 hour, 30 minute, 2 hours mark, and then we can go into Q&A and just discussion to see how we're going. But before we start, I want to use this first few minutes to go through Chancellor, Yanira, Andre Thompson, the 3 people who have their cameras up. Tell me few things about 2021. You know, it could be positive, could be negative, but tell me what you got out of 2021. You know, tell me what you got out of 2021. And when you finish telling me what you got out of 2021, we're going to go to the next thing and then the next thing. So I'm going to start with ladies first. Yanira, it looks like you're the only, yes. And is Rayon's camera on? No, or it's just a picture. I saw somebody like on camera. Rayon Chan, is your camera on? No? All right, so Yanira, you want to go first?
What I got from 2021, I got a lot of stuff. It was the toughest year of my life. It was the most challenging one. Although I got sick, it was the year where I realized what I was able to do. It was a year for you to reflect, for you to realize that not everything is work, and that you think you have time for you to connect with people, and don't even thinking that it can go like this. I lost a family member because of COVID, and I thought I would have like time to see her again.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
But there is sorry.
It's okay.
This situation opened my eyes to realize that we are here and we can lose each other in a blink of an eye. So I have so much of reflection. In that time, it helped me to put like my goals right back in the place that it's supposed to be, and allow me to set up my priorities, if that's how you said it.
Yes, you said it right. And again, I'm truly, truly sad to hear about your family member, but one thing I could tell you is that you're strong. You're very, very strong. I could hear strength even in your pain. And guess what? You just have to make them proud. Thank you so much for sharing. That was awesome. That was great. I love it. I love it. Who's going next?
I guess I'll go.
Yes, you're going, Mr. Andre.
So reflecting on 2021, I would say it allowed us to, like, similar to what Yanir was saying, it allowed us to like really consider how important we are, and not to lose hope. And you have to stay positive despite the situations. And I would say you would want to, just be thankful for everything in your life that you have right now and what's to come. So I'd say that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's powerful. Very, very powerful, Andre. Chancellor?
Yeah. Where do I begin? What was the question so I make sure I answer it properly?
What do you take out of 2021? What do you?
2020, 2021 was I guess it was a year to really figure out exactly, you know, what I wanted to do overall, I guess, with my life, because I didn't know exactly where I was going. And I dealt with a lot of different things. I dealt with a friend who had a real struggling addiction problem. I dealt with someone who was suicidal, family member who found out had terminal cancer, passed. And then my partner, we had issues. I mean, I dealt with issues from every corner. And I guess the thing I take away from it is just realizing just how strong I was. Because I thought at one point that I wouldn't be able to handle.
Yeah.
I guess all in all, I just really, I really realized how strong I was.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So 3 of you spoke about 3 different things, but if we look at all the 3 different things that we spoke about, that Andre, Yanira, and Chancellor spoke about, those 3 things intertwine, you know. And if I could show you my note, usually I don't do notes, you know, but this morning I woke up and I started writing. If I could show you my note on this notepad right now, everything you guys spoke about is what I have a couple of them written down, everything. You know, and the structure that I created for today's presentation goes like this. Number 1 is how powerful I am, how strong I am, you know. Number 2 is what do I want to achieve with my strength. Number three is what's my vision board? What's that thing I see every morning that reminds me of what I want to achieve? And number 4 is action gives result. So for the visual learners, I'm going to go through it again. You could take note if you want. Number 1, how powerful I am, how strong I am. Isn't that what Chancellor just spoke about? And Yanira and even Andre. Number 2 is what do I want to achieve with my strength? Number 3 is what's my vision board? What's the reminder? What's the visual reminder that I see every day to tell myself I need to get this and I need to get to this place? And number 4 is action gives result. We could add a 5th one if you want. Number 5, I'm going to show up. I'm just going to be there. I'm going to show up, right? Because it's about showing up. If you do not show up, everything else does not work, right? So why I wanted these 3 young leaders to tell us what they brought out of 2021 is because we live in a very difficult time, right? The 3 things I wanted them to talk about, they spoke about it in one answer. They spoke about everything. I wanted them to tell me how, what they feel about how they did. You know, Chancellor said it. He didn't know how strong he was until he had to go through all those things. Yanira didn't know how strong she was until she had to go through all those things. Andre Thompson just reminded himself that, wow, I had that power. You know, I have that power. I could do it. You know, I could do it. So today, I remember, if for those who were there when I was being introduced by Tayana, you understood that the power of the mind is a concept I created a couple of years back when I understood how powerful I was, you know, and how I could achieve everything I put my mind to, you know. And now I'm going around the world sharing that concept with people, and it's changing people's life. For those of you who have been in my presentation before, you could testify of what you've taken out of every time you got encounter with me. I see a couple of them. Yanira, you've been in my presentation last year, right? This is the 2nd time. I remember you very well. Esther Gambia has been in the presentation before, you know. So I want to prepare everybody's mind. Andre Thompson have been in a presentation before. I want to prepare everybody's mind that's here today. You're not here by mistake. You're not here by coincidence. You're here to get some type of substance, and you take that substance with you, right? So, Yanira, tell me in the last presentation, what did you get out of it, and how did that help you move forward? Can you unmute yourself, please? Anyone else was in my last presentation, please just let me know so that I could give you the floor to say. Andrew was there too. Yes, Andrew was there. You have difficulties on meeting yourself, Yanira? Who's the admin? Can you help? Okay, let me see. I've sent you the ask to unmute. Just click yes and you unmute yourself. Esther Gambia, are you available to speak?
Cyrille, I don't know if Yanira knows that she's muted or not.
Yeah, she's muted and she's trying to unmute herself.
Estelle said she can't, she's at work, she cannot speak.
That's cool. So Andrew, what did you get out of the last presentation and how did that help you grow? While Yanira is trying to unmute herself.
Okay, well, I'll say this. I feel the way your presentation helped me to grow last time we met. I learned that you have to sometimes step out of your comfort zone and you have to like persevere, believe in yourself more. And yeah, I pretty much say that.
Yes, yes, agree, totally agree, totally agree. That's what we spoke about, stepping out of your comfort zone the last time and taking those opportunities that comes with you, right? So all that is mental is the power of the mind, right? It is the power of the mind, because if your mind is not in the right place, nothing else can really move forward for you, because it begins in the mind. Everything begins in here. You know, you could have muscles, go to the gym every day, but any little struggle is going to break you down if your mind is not in the right place, if your mind is not strong enough, right? So it's very important that we identify that as we're moving forward. We're talking about the power of the mind here. We're talking about how we're going to do this, how we're going to go out of these struggles, how we're going to go through all this tough period that we're going through and come out of it victorious, right? But in the process, we have to understand what is the trajectory. Where are we going to? Where are you going to? Where are you now and where do you want to get to? Because most people live just a day-by-day life and nobody's perfect. We're not here to judge, but at the end of the day, when Yanira said life, she didn't understand how easy it was for life to just go from point A to point B when she lost her family member. She thought she would be there again to see her, but she's gone, right? But now she understands the importance of life. She understands the importance of, wow, I wake up in the morning, I have to make sure to achieve something by the night, because when that day is gone, I can't get it anymore. When that day is gone, you can't get it anymore. We live in the present. Yesterday is gone. All you could do is use the experiences of yesterday to do what? To make a better today so that your future should be the best version of you. Because when the day is gone, you can't catch it back. For those who drive, you put a GPS, you put the address in the GPS and it tells you, I'm going to the Bronx and it's 35 minutes. And you drive to the Bronx and you try to catch up that time and make it in 25 minutes. It's difficult because sometimes you get roadblocks, you get traffic, you get a cop pull you over. It's difficult, you know. So time is an essence of the God. It's difficult to buy back time. Time is something that you can't catch, you cannot hold. So most people, what they do is that they put concept that will help them live in a way that they can buy back time. You know, and if your mind is not where it's supposed to be, it's difficult for you to understand that, wow, I have the power in me, right? Chancellor has the power in him. He went through all what he went through, but guess what? He's here today. He's sitting in this Zoom today, getting knowledge. It means that now he understands how powerful he is. I wish that at the end of this presentation that he understands that he's even more powerful than he thought he was, right? Because sometimes we understand our power when we go through struggle. If you don't have any struggle, it's difficult for you to say, oh man, I'm strong. You know, and I'm not saying you can only be powerful through struggles, but guess what? Struggles will help open your eyes and say, oh man, yeah, how did I even go through this? You know, how did I do it? You know, so that's the base, that's the foundation of today's presentation, is the reminder of how important it is to use time and how important it is to understand that we are living in a timeline where, as you're moving forward, the timeline is passing by. It's up to you now to tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to buy back this time. I'm going to make decisions that's going to give me the ability to buy back time, so that my time down here is not wasted. My time down here is not wasted. You know, the only time you're going to waste time is if you make wrong decisions, if you decide to do things that will not really take you anywhere. You know, and everybody that's on this call today is buying back time because you're here to get knowledge. You're educating yourself, you're growing, you're doing the things that you have to do to get where you have to be. You know, and what we are here to do is assist you to get to that next level. Time is money. Yeah, somebody said time is money. Who said that? Arnold.
Hey, sir. Hey, how are you?
Welcome.
My fish,
how you doing?
hey, like what you said, why get with speakers, because we met in person, why got hone your skills and as well make good judgment. I agree with that. That's why I learn and grow with yourself. That's the last time we met in presentation, because I have a lot of notes.
Oh, really? Oh
Yeah.
my God, I have chills just listening to you. I don't even remember that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
When we're in person, because last year I was here virtual, but like I'm trying to remember because I have short-term memory.
We met in person. Where was that? In Brooklyn? At the Brooklyn?
Oh
Brooklyn
yeah, Brooklyn
College, right?
at the
Jason.
yes, and Hostos. What time also? I can't remember.
All right, Brooklyn College, because I remember I presented at Brooklyn College and you were there. Oh my God!
And we chatted. Yes. No,
I'm happy that you kept those teachings in you and they helped you move forward. I'm so proud of you.
Skills.
Welcome.
I remember talking about skills. I remember we talked about knowing skills.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Arno.
No,
time is money. Yeah. When people say time is money, what do they mean? Because we work hard to make money. Can you buy time with money?
Pandemic.
That's an awesome question.
Pandemic, especially pandemic. I was like, time is money because like you gotta get money to your family and everyone. You need to support.
Yes, so when we talk about the essence of God, we talk about time. It's very important to understand that, as the topic of today says, start by showing up. What does that mean? Showing up for what? Showing up where? Showing up how? So when I talked about this topic and I sent it to Jason, I talked about my life, right? I talked about my life, and I always use my life as a testimony because I'm the best person that could speak about myself, right? I know where I came from, and I know where I am right now, and I know where I want to be. So the pandemic was a very difficult time for all of us, but it was the most successful time for in my life. I know most people are going to be surprised, right? I lost a couple of family members, but the pandemic, 2020, 2021 was the most successful time in my life. I achieved a lot of great things that I've been working hard for during the pandemic. You know, so what did I do? When 7 or 8 years ago, when I created the Power of the Mind concept, and I did my first conference in Cameroon at the time, I understood how powerful I was, because the young people that I spoke to came to me after and told me, Cyrille, I wish I'd heard you speak last year. That was 2014, because most of the things that I did in 2014, I didn't have this knowledge. I would have been greater than where I am today. And I told them, guess what? It doesn't matter when you receive the knowledge. What matters is how you use the knowledge. All right. So, and we created a mentorship concept with those young people, and I started mentoring them by Zoom, by WhatsApp at the time. And most of them are entrepreneurs now, they own businesses and everything. That's 2015, right? 7 years now. So, but it reminded me 7 years ago that I had the power to achieve everything I put my mind to. And I'm not saying it lightly, I'm saying it again. 7 years ago, I reminded myself after doing my first trip and doing that conference, and be careful, those conferences were free. I self-funded all the project, right? Nobody was buying any ticket. I just took my air ticket, traveled to Cameroon and organized the first conference, and and it was so empowering for me, you know. So I came back, I was like, wow, I can do this. And that's how I finished. I just continued my education, learning, doing my certifications in public speaking and motivational and life coach. And I became better. The more I did it, I became better. But one thing that never left me was the power that my mind have, the power of the mind. Put yourself into the position of a winner, and you become a winner. And I listened to Les Brown, I listened to Dr. Miles Monroe, I listened to all those great speakers, and I read their books, and I read Start With Why, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and all those, and I look at those concepts and I'm like, man, if these people did it, I can do it. These books is not just for fun. It's there because we can use it and become successful. What are the things that we can do to become successful? Right? So I started getting all the knowledge I needed to be the best version of myself. And I told myself one thing at that time, Cyrille, you're not going to empower anyone if you're not empowered. So, and I wanted to ask that question to Jason the last time, but we didn't have time to speak because we were going back and forth through email. I was like, I wanted to ask Jason, can you please tell me, why do you always decide to call me to come and present at Hostos? Not because I was doubting myself, but because I wanted to hear what was his reasoning. But for me, it was like, if you're not empowered, how do you empower people? If you're not successful, how do you speak about success? If you're not mentally sane, how do you tell somebody else, brother, sister, you'll be all right, if you've not been through that experience? All right? So the only way I have power to stand in front of you today or sit down in front of you today in the Zoom and tell you all the things I'm telling you right now is because I've been through it. You know, I've been through it. I have a story. I moved to the US 15 years ago, 14, 15 years ago, with $80 in my pocket at JFK. And that's the title of my book, $80 and a Dream, right? I moved from Cameroon to New York with $80 in my pocket, believing that I was going to be successful, not knowing what the future holds, right? And I was undocumented for 6 years, finally got my green card, decided to go back to school, did my GED, and you guys know the rest of the story. It was introduced during the beginning for those who were there. But today, because of the power of my mind, I've achieved almost everything that I've been wanting to achieve to get this American dream, right? So the power of the mind is the most powerful tool that we have to become successful and becoming the best version of ourselves. You know, and the moment you understand the power of your mind, you have to show up, because now you're not doubting yourself anymore. You don't wake up in the morning asking yourself if you can do it. No. You know you're ready. You just have to show up. Because one thing about getting empowered is understanding how great you are. And if you understand how great you are, it puts you in position of, I'm not going to be afraid of going to school. I'm not going to be afraid of going to this job interview. I'm not going to be afraid to start this entrepreneurship venture, because I know I have what it takes to be successful. I know I have what it takes to be in a place of of the leader, of leadership. All right. So everybody that's here is going through something. Guess what? Today is the first day of this winter workshops. My words for you is to remind you that the moment you harness the power of your mind, everything is possible. A lot of people say, oh, the sky is the limit. I say, no, the sky is not the limit. The limit is in your mind. The sky is the beginning of your limit. All right? Because when you fly in the plane, you see the sky, you see the cloud, you know, and everything. It means that you're above the sky. There's way more to life than just the sky as a limit. No, don't limit yourself. Don't hold yourself back. You know, start by showing up. So we show up. How do we show up? You can't show up if you're not ready to show up. I'm going to repeat it again. Can you show up if you're not ready to show up? No, you can't. Because for you to show up, you have to be ready. Most people get into relationships and it doesn't work and they blame themselves, you know, and they say, oh, I don't know, what did I do wrong? Oh, that person wasn't me, he wasn't a good person anyway. The moment between the time you ask yourself, what did I do wrong? And then you shift the responsibility to someone else, you've already lost it, because you're supposed to keep the responsibility on who? On yourself. Remember, this is the power of the mind. When your mind is sane, your life is sane. All right, you have to take responsibility. Oh, I failed the class. Oh no, the professor was not nice. He always gave me a C, a D. No, no. What did you do in that class not to get the right grade? Take responsibility. You can't show up if you cannot take responsibility. All right. So it's very important that we understand that for you to have the power of the mind, you have to, first of all, take responsibility. Be responsible of yourself. You know, don't be quick in judging others, because for you to empower anyone, you have to be what? You have to be empowered yourself. So between 2015 and now, I've empowered myself so much. Now I have people who can vouch for me, that I can sit in front of 20, 30 people and tell them something good about ourselves. All right. So in June of 2021, I did 2 conferences in Zambia. I did the men conference and the women conference, and very successful. It was in the middle of pandemic. We were supposed to do it in person, and the day I landed in Lusaka, the Minister of Health banned every gathering in person. So we filmed all the speakers and we did it online, and it was still great. You know, a lot of people watched it and everything. What did I get out of that? You cannot stop yourself, man. Everything you want to do, just do it. It doesn't matter. Let the lessons that you're learning in your failures be your, you know, that threshold that's going to tell you how successful you're going to be. Because most people are afraid of failing. Most people are afraid of, oh my God, I don't want to look bad. Guess what? If you don't look bad, how are you going to know how you can look good? If you don't look bad, how are you going to know how it's going to be when you look, how you're going to look good? You know, so it's been a long journey. Pandemic happened, everything shut down. But in that time, I went back into my mind and I said, Cyrille, you're not going to let this break you down. 1, you're going to stay healthy. 2, you're going to make sure to be more compassionate than you were before. So you're going to make sure to call everyone and check on them, ask how they're doing and everything. Make sure that you're there for your community as usual, and make sure that you're there for the world, you know. So December 2020, I traveled again. December 2020, I traveled to Zambia for a project. And the project went so well. In the middle of the pandemic, I was in Zambia, Botswana, South Africa, and Uganda, that I came back. For those who know, I was at the time in 2020, I was an executive director at the University Student Senate. I resigned from my job because I felt like I was close to the next level of where I wanted to be. But before I resigned, I had to ask myself, are you ready for that next level? And the answer was yes, because I'd done things, I'd walked out of my comfort zone. I'd gone somewhere where I just wanted to give. I wanted to be there for others. I wanted to make sure that all the knowledge I have is shared with other people. And let us grow as a community. Let us grow as a village together, right? And most people didn't understand my move when I even family members. My wife was like, no, you can't resign now. There's bills and everything. I'm like, no, there is going to be a better opportunity as soon as I resign, because sometimes you just have to take a leap. You just have to take a jump. You know, when you understand that you are at a place where you've done it and the next level is there, jump. Don't wait for anyone, because you cannot put big dreams in a small mind. You can't put big dreams in a small mind. When you share your dreams with people, be mindful of who you share your dreams with, because some people have small minds. And you're going to tell them something big and they're like, no, you can't do that. How are you going to do that? And they start killing your dreams, right? They start bringing you down so bad. How are you going to do that? So be mindful of who you share your dreams with. So when I got to that point where I knew I was ready to take off, I just the close circle, my wife, you know, my best friends, the people that I had that I knew that would understand what my move was. I resigned from the USS and I was off work for 1 week. And the next week, 2 of my friends called me and they said we're starting a project called the Oyate Group Bronze Rising Initiative. Most of you who watch the news, you would have seen us on the news. We've vaccinated 35,000 people so far in the bronze. We knocked at $15,000 during the pandemic. You know, we've given scholarships. You know, we're doing gun buybacks. We're doing everything in the bronze. And now we're taking it to, you know, to Manhattan, to the Heights. You know, it's a non-profit organization. And that's what I love to do. I love to give. I love to be in the forefront and just be there for people. And what I told myself in 2020 December happened. Because I was like, I want to serve more. I have the capacity to be the best version of myself. I want to serve more. I want to be there for others and everything. Right? And on my vision board, right? Vision board is on the third part of this presentation, but I want to, it's coming in this part of the story, because on my vision board, I had the version of the job I wanted to do, which was a community work I'm doing right now. You know, I had the house I wanted to own. The picture, you remember the vision board, right, Arnold? Yes, you remember the vision board. Yes, so I had the picture, I had my best job, I had the orphanages that I'm helping in Africa. I had all of them in a picture. I wanted to give them more resources, you know. And the fourth picture I had was my family. I wanted to buy back time so that I could spend more time with my family. And guess what, guys? By the end of 2021, I achieved 3 things out of those things on my vision. So I closed down on my property in October 2021. I bought my home, actually in it right now in Bridgeport, Connecticut. You know, yeah, it's serious. Now, again, this is serious, guys. This is not, I'm not here to tell you guys how rich I am. I'm just here to tell you it's possible, right? It is possible when you change your mindset. When you change your mind, it's possible. So 2021 October, I didn't post that on my social media, so you will never see it there. But I'm saying it right now because I need to empower you guys. We closed on our first home. I got a better job. I'm making twice what I used to make at USS as a salary. You know, very, 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 very well paid. You know, everything, 401k, everything. So I'm very comfortable, and I'm buying back time. It means my job does not require me to be at work 9 to 5 from Monday through Sunday, you know, 24 hours a clock, but I still put in it, you know, everything. It's just what I envisioned. You know, so now I spend more time with the family. I work most of the time from home, but most of the time we're in the field. You know, while I'm doing this job, I'm still doing my filming. So I filmed the documentary of all our effort that we did during the pandemic, and the documentary is going to be coming out in a couple of months. You know, I've published 2 books, 2 children books that my son wrote. You know, so you go on Amazon, you will see the books there. Road Trip with My Daddy came out last March, and this January, my trip to George Floyd Memorial came out. All this happened during the pandemic, guys. All right. All these achievements I got during the pandemic. And I'm not trying to let anyone feel bad about himself. I'm just saying, I set up myself for success. I set up myself for success. You know, 7 years ago, I told myself, your mind is the most powerful tool. You're going to use it to succeed. And I started building my mind. I started taking out all the negativities and made sure that I was positive all the time, being there for people, always stopping people on the road and telling them how beautiful they are, how awesome their smile is, you know, just sowing seed into people's life made me a better version of myself. It was not more about me anymore. It was about us building a better community. You know, and while I was doing that, I had my vision board on my wall. I had my vision board on my wall. Those who came in my office at USS saw my vision board in my office all the time. You know, and now I've taken down 3 pictures out of that vision board and I'm putting 3 more new pictures, because guess what? Life is about achieving all the time. Life is about continuous achievement without losing the eye on the prize, without taking your eye away from the prize. Because what's the prize? The prize is for me to be a giver. I want to build the biggest orphanage in Africa. I want to, you know, take care of widows and orphans. I want to pay tuitions. I want to create scholarships for children down there. I want to give people the resources that they don't have. Build fountains in villages that don't have water. So it's bigger than me, but guess what? As I'm moving forward, I'm gaining mental muscles to be able to do bigger things. Right? So my vision board was my best partner for 4 years of my life. Every day of my life, I will walk in my room, in my office, and I will look at the same picture, a picture of the house. And if you guys see the house we got, not very different from the house that was on my vision board. Not very different, almost the same thing. You know, so how can I impress it in your mind that your mind is the best tool for success that you have in you? How can I impress it? By giving you my personal testimony, by telling you that it's possible, by showing you real life example of all the successful people that we read in books, who didn't dwell in the negativity and who didn't dwell in the struggles, but used the struggles to propel them to higher height and greater, you know, deep and greater success. Les Brown was homeless. He slept in his office, you know, but today he's worth $12 million and he's one of the best speakers in the whole world, you know. So it's very important that we understand that the struggles will come, but how do you deal with the struggle is what is the most important thing. How do you deal with it? You guys don't know how proud I am anytime I see Andre Thompson in these calls, because I know where he came from. You know, Andre Thompson is a leader now. He sits like just with authority. He does the things he needs to do. He speaks with authority. He carries himself like what we've been telling him 3-4 years ago, you know, but perseverance, you know, resilience, you know, the ability to believe in himself and the ability to understand that, guess what? It wasn't meant to destroy him, but it was meant to build him and make him a better leader. This is just awesome. It's just the best thing ever, just to see a young leader who is succeeding. Most people gave up on him, but he didn't give up on himself. He built his mental mind. He sat in these conferences, came to the speaking engagement, traveled with the students, just sitting down there, just getting the information. But guess what? It was for now, Andre. Everything that you were taking in was for now. Because the people who are seeing you now, they just see the success, right? They just see how handsome you are and how outspoken and very eloquent you are, but they don't know the Andre that we know, who struggled with all the things that he went through, but never gave up. And the beauty about it is the fact that you never gave up. You never gave up. You built your mind, the power of the mind. It wasn't muscles. You didn't go to the gym to carry iron or whatever. You built your mind. You reminded yourself that you're not going to give up. You're not going to let go. You reminded yourself that every day with our discussions, with the mentorship of the Jasons, the Charmaine, and all these people who have been in your life, reminding you that guess what? It doesn't matter how tough you think it is, bro. You're going to be awesome. Just stay the course. That is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the power of the mind. I'm talking about succeeding in the middle of adversity. I'm talking about growing and achieving the things that we thought were not achievable. That's what I'm talking about. And we have real life experiences on this call. Real life experiences. And Andre is one. How powerful are we? How powerful are you? How do you quantify the strength of your mind? How do you get to a place where you say, wow, I'm ready. I could take everything that comes right now. How powerful are you? Talk to me, someone. Let me give someone the floor. How powerful do you think you are? If you're able with babies and everything, if you're able to answer, please put on your mic. If you don't want to put on your camera, just put on your mic and tell us how powerful do you think you are? Anyone?
Honestly, like I said, didn't know until I just realized that it was just a matter of will. So I think I'm quite powerful now that I see that all it takes is the will to do it. There's not too much I really can't accomplish. Even if I were to fail at it and stuff, I would still eventually succeed in it.
Yes, sir. Can you repeat what you said in the beginning? It was just a matter of what?
It was just a matter of will.
Just
a matter of, just a willingness to actually do it.
Sure, just show up. Just showing up. I love it. I love it, Chancellor. It may sound easy, but it's not that easy. It takes sweat, tears, and blood to understand that sometimes you just have the will. Just have the will. Some people call it leap of faith. Some people call it just jump. Some people call it just do it. Nike was the best person to say, just do it. Don't think about it, right? Don't overthink it. Because overthinking is always going to take you, one, it's going to take you too much time. And two, by the time you stop overthinking, you're already making the wrong decision. Just do it. And if Chancellor did not go through all the things he went through between 2020 and 2021, he will not even be on this call today. Because he will still be figuring out his power. But now he's a warrior. Now he's ready for war. Throw everything at him right now, he's going to take it. He's going to take it because mentally he's ready. Mentally now he knows that, oh man, I have a shield, I have a sword in my hand. Why am I not swinging? Why wasn't I swinging in the beginning? So it takes that hardship for you to understand, wow, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I could do it. How powerful are we? It's very important that we understand the power. You don't need, I tell people sometimes when I speak, or my private clients, I tell them sometimes, you don't need to wait for struggles for you to understand that your power. Start exercising your power before the struggle comes. You don't need to wait for struggles. Some of us always wait to go through things before we start understanding that, oh man, I went through it. No. Start telling yourself, Cyrille, you're great. I tell myself that every morning. Cyrille, you're awesome. You're changing the world today. Cyrille, you're handsome. Cyrille, you're an intellectual. You're great. Everywhere you place yourself, you're going to be the center of attention, and not in a negative way. If they give you the floor, you're ready to take over. I tell myself that every morning because you have to affirm it to yourself. When you go through the affirmations, it helps remind your mind, we're talking about it, right? The mind, the power of the mind, it helps remind your mind that it should be in an action mode every time you're out. Action mode. And for that to happen, you need to educate yourself. That's why we are in an educative setting, right? We're in a college, we're in Hostos college. Why? Because we're here to get our degrees, then we'll move to the next step, and then we'll grow, we're growing. You have to educate yourself. The more you educate yourself, the more power you're gaining, and the more your mind is reminding you that you are the person. You are that person, you know? So we understand how powerful we are, right? We understand how powerful we are when we put ourselves in a place where we're ready to achieve. When I moved to the US, many times I almost gave up. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not here saying that I'm perfect. Never. There's nothing like perfection. There's nothing like perfection. I almost gave up many times. I almost gave up many times. But when I reminded myself why I came here in the first place, I kept on pushing. Why did you come here, Cyrille? Why did you sacrifice everything in Cameroon to come to New York? Because I wanted that piece of the American dream. What's the piece of American dream? Having a stable, something that could give you a stable income, being there for others, having a family, you know, having a roof over my head, the little things, right? When I thought of why I came here, I didn't give up. Thank you, Rayon Chan. Absolutely agreeing to everything that you're saying, indeed. Where are you? Are you there? So it's very important that you understand why you did it, why you started what you're doing in the first place. Why did you come to Hostos Community College? Why do you want to give up? If you're going to work 2 jobs to finish the school, you have to do it. I drove Uber while I was doing my master's degrees. I was an Uber driver. Most people don't know that, right? Cyrille, the Uber driver? Yes, I was. Right? But I had to do what I had to do to get what I wanted to get. Because having a full-time job at the time would have taken me enough time and it would have gotten me tired. But with the Uber, I could set up my own time. I could work at night from 6 to 12 a.m., 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. and then I go home and rest and I go to school in the morning and like that. It was easy. You have to do what you have to do to get where you want to get. The moment you understand how powerful you are, it becomes easy for you to achieve the things that you set yourself. But you cannot achieve the things, you cannot achieve things if you do not set yourself for achievement, to achieve those things. So how do you tell yourself, when I grow up, I want to be this? Like my son is 10 years old. I told you he's 10 years old and his second book is being published right now. At the end, I'm going to put the link on the chat. We took a trip to Canada when he was 7. And when he came back, he was so impressed by the trip that he wrote a book about it. And I told him I was going to publish it for him. He didn't believe it. And now it's on Amazon. He sold 100-something copies in March when it was released. And then we took a trip to the George Floyd Memorial. And he came back. He said, "Daddy, I want to write a book about it." I was like, "Write a book about it." He wrote the book about it. The book just got published on Amazon last week. So I challenged him. I said, "Guess what? Zen, you're 10 years old." By the yes, Chancellor, he's an author. My son is an author. By the time you're 15 years old, I want you to have published 10 books. He was like, "Daddy, I'm going to do that." Guess what? He wrote 4 books already. It's in the mind, guys. You condition the mind, he forgets about everything. He forgets about the Legos, the games. Now it's the challenge. He wants to challenge his father. He wants to publish his book. So he wrote 4 books and I published 2. And now I'm still editing the other 2 because what the process we're in is he writes the book, I edit it, then I send it to another editor, they edit it too, and then we do the illustration and then we publish it. We self-publish it ourselves, you know. But the moment you can get to a mind of a 10 years old and make him see how important it is to be an entrepreneur and own his own money and do his own things, the things that he used to use as play, as a game, becomes very important to him. You know, now he gets invited to speak at places about being an author. You know, we're launching the book on January 28th. He's ready. He's already posting videos on his Instagram about his book. You know, and he's just 10 years old, you know, and guess what that does for him? That makes him inspire his 7-year-old sisters, the twins. Now they also want to do something. He may not be writing books, but they want to do something with their lives, you know? So what I'm telling you, people, I'm not just telling you things that are impossible. I'm telling you things that are we achieve on a daily basis because the mindset changed. I'm not saying it's not going to be difficult. I never say that. Don't go and tell people that Cyrille said life is easy. I never say that. But I said one thing, the moment you put your mind to it and you educate yourself, you build your mental strength, it becomes easy to achieve those things. It becomes easy. Action gives result. I said it. Actions give result. We spoke about the vision board. How important is the vision board? Andre Thompson, how important is the vision board? I'm seeing you, that's why I'm calling you. Sorry, I'm not putting you on the spot.
It's fine. It's very important.
Why?
Why? What I would say because
Vision. Remember, you see vision board. What does that mean? Visual. Remember, we're visual people. You put the board on the wall, and your pictures are there, and the title is there, and the timeline that you put yourself to achieve those things are there. Guess what? I challenge you that you're going to achieve those things, because every morning that you see that, and every night you see that, it reminds something inside of you that you're going to, man, Cyrille, you need to buy the house, man. It's getting too long. You need a bigger space for the children.
okay.
Sarandi Abi says, create a plan and timeline to follow, especially when you aren't motivated. You said it. Where is she? Who is he? Is he or she? Is she? You said it so right, Ms. Diaby. When you even when you're motivated, you need that reminder. You need that thing to remind you that you need to achieve it. That's what the vision board does. You know, it creates that plan and that timeline. Yes, you said it right. That's what I said. To challenge yourself, you have to challenge your own self that you can do it. And when you look at it and you said, in 3 months, I want to achieve this, and in 3 months, you don't achieve this, now you hold yourself responsible. Accountability, you're like, man, I failed myself. I need to graduate in 2 years. I'll put everything that needs to happen for me to graduate. If you don't graduate in 2 years, you hold yourself accountable. You're like, man, I didn't do what I had to do. I didn't put too much effort. Right? So the vision board is very important. Knowing how powerful you are is very important. My case study on this call is Chancellor. You know, Chancellor is a man. Chancellor Shelley is a man. He went through a lot, but he understands his strength. So now there's no room for excuse, Mr. Chancellor. I'm going to be stalking you and making sure that you're going from success to success, because now, now you know that you're strong. Now you know that you have the power to achieve it. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you, brother. Right? So after this call, I'm going to look at all your social medias and start following you straight. Ask Andre, he will tell you I do it. I'm not joking. Yanira is laughing because she knows it's true. Yeah. So how powerful are you? You understand that you're powerful. You create a vision board to help you. And guess what? I could guide you guys through this if you want to. You know, sometimes your mind gets cluttered with everyday life and your visions go to the back of your mind. Yes, but when you make a vision board, it stays fresh in your mind, and every day you remind yourself what you will. I need to give $5 to this person. Who is this? Christina Diaz. Send me your Zelle. Let me Zelle you $2 or something, because that was so well said. That was so well said. Right? Let me read it again. Sometimes your mind gets cluttered with everyday life, and your visions go to the back of your mind. Who never been through that yet? If you've never been through that, you're not telling the truth. She's right. We get busy with work, we get busy with family, we get busy with disappointment, we get busy with all those things, and then all the visions and everything that we set ourselves to get is in the back of our mind, and we forget about it. But when you have that vision board on the wall that reminds you of where you want to go, every day it stays fresh in your mind. Thank you so much, Christina Diaz. Thank you so much. You made my life easier today. That was easier. That was very well said. Andre, you're getting it right. You're getting it now, right? What the vision board is, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm going to. You're the second person I'm going to stalk. You have to create a vision board between now and next week.
Oh, okay.
It's very important. It's very, very important. You know, when you understand how powerful you are, the only thing you have to do now is just exercise your power. Set some goals. Set some things you want to achieve. And it doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be a house like me. It doesn't need to be building an orphanage in Africa. No, no. It can be small, achievable goals that you can, little wins makes what? Little wins makes big wins. If you have 10 little wins, it gives you the confidence that you can achieve a bigger win. Because all we need when we're having mental struggles is just confidence. It's just a self-reflective time to tell you, Cyrille, you're great. Yanira, you're awesome. You could do it. Andre, you're awesome. Francine, you can do it. Nothing can stop you. You know, Chancellor, you're great. Brenda, you can do it. You know, the moment your mind starts telling you you can do it, you become unstoppable. That business that you've been sitting on a business plan for the past 5 years, you're just going to take it off your seat and start finishing it. You know? Self-motivation is the key. Yes, it is the key. Self-motivation is the key. You could listen to motivational speakers all you want. If your mind doesn't change and the power of your mind does not activate, you're going to be at the same place. You're going to be at the same place. Francine said, yes, I can do it and will do it for sure. Yes, you can do it. Do not let anything hold you back. You are here today for a reason. How many people died during the pandemic? Why are we still alive? The whole Christmas for 10 days, I was down with the pandemic, with the Omicron. I thought it was the end. And I was smiling every morning when I woke up like, man, my body feels like crap, but I'm happy. I've achieved something. If I go today, I go happy. You know? Because I know people will be like, wow, Cyrille, I met him one day at the train station and he changed my life. Yeah, that's a legacy that you're living. Yeah. You know, so it does not matter. It does not matter your situation. It doesn't matter your situation. People that send me direct messages, I'm going to reply to you as soon as I'm done, all right? So you'll be okay. Brenda, I just received your message. I'm going to reply to you. And you can do that. If you don't want me to talk about your issue, just send it directly in my message and we can talk about it later. You know, but every situation has a solution. There's no problem here that don't have any solution. Every problem has a solution. But it begins with who? It begins with you. It begins with me. You can't expect positivity if you feed yourself negativity. You can't. You cannot tell yourself, I want to lose weight, and then every day you eat Popeye's chicken, McDonald's, and all those great things that we have out there. I give you 6 months to look like nothing that you wanted to look like. You know, it takes discipline. When you want to lose weight, you want to be in shape, you have to work hard. You have to go to the gym, you have to eat clean, you know, and it makes you stay healthy. You stay healthy, you know, and then you live longer. So it takes the power of the mind for you to get to the place where you need to get. And you have to be intentional with what you want to achieve. Don't be vague. Don't wake up and say, oh, I want to have a degree. Degree in what? What do you want to do with a degree? You have to be very intentional with everything that you want. I knew what I wanted when I was looking for a home. I wanted 3 families, you know, I wanted to have 2 tenants that were paying for my mortgage. I wanted space in the yard, you know, I wanted all those things, and it's exactly what I got. Because I was intentional from 4 years ago before I even had $10 saved for that house. Discipline is the key. Yes, Bridget. Discipline is the key. If you're not intentional, if you're not disciplined, if you don't tell yourself exactly what you want, it's not going to happen. Some people do that. Oh, I want a husband. I want a tall guy who has 6 packs and everything. What did you do for yourself if you want someone like that? Because it's always going to match, right? If you don't be in the circles where you're going to find that type of person, you're never going to find them. You can't stay in your house and say you want a tall guy with 6 packs that have 20 degrees and is driving a Lamborghini. You have to put yourself in that same circle, right? You cannot tell yourself, I want to own a business if you don't even watch YouTube video to teach you how to do a business plan. I'm not even telling you to go and sit in a business class. Just watch YouTube videos to teach you how to do a business plan or you know, how to register your business with the IRS. You know, as simple as that, you know, as simple as that. It's called dedication, discipline to your calling, discipline to your future. Because most of us, we go from generational curse to generational curse. I was raised by a single mother, sorry. I will never let go of my family. I will never go out of my family because I don't want my children to go through what I went through. So guess what? I try as much as possible to be the best father ever, right? I make sure that I don't bring that same cycle in this generation. My father left us. I never knew him. I'm not going to go. I'm going to be there. So I'm breaking that generational curse, right? After my generation, there will be no single mother anymore. My daughters will be married, they will have family, children together. My son will have family, children together. So that will create a healthy cycle. The generation before me struggled financially. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to break that cycle. I invest in the stock market, I buy cryptocurrency, I do everything that makes me be financially stable. Now I've invested in a home, equity is building in my property. Slowly but surely, I'll have money saved somewhere to buy a second home or to buy a home for my children. So we're breaking that financial lack in our generation, right? We're cutting it, right? How education, the generation before us were not educated. I'm the first in my family to have a master's degree. Guess what? After me, my children will have a doctorate if they want, because I've broken that cycle. I pushed myself as an adult learner. I went and I got the master's degree, and I'm a professional now. There will be no lack of education in none of my generation after me. So you have to be able to tell yourself, what do you want to achieve? What does Cyrille Njikeng want to achieve? I want to create a healthy generation. I want to create a generation after me that will look back and say, oh man, my grandfather was awesome. My great-grandfather was the man. My grandmother was great. You want your generation to bless you while they're talking about you, not say, I don't even know what my grandfather was. He was poor, drinking alcohol everywhere, smoking, and today we're broke. No, you don't want that. Yeah, similar to my situation, I grew up in poverty. It wasn't easy, but education changed all when I moved to this country, land of the opportunities. Facts, bro, you're preaching it, you know? Very important to understand that and remind yourself that. Acknowledge where you are. Acknowledge where you are. If you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. And I could say it better. If you don't know where you are, it's difficult to even move forward. How are you moving? How are you moving without knowing where you're going to? You know, I was intentional from the jump. I knew I was coming to America to get the American dream. It was difficult. I was undocumented and everything, but I kept pushing. I kept pushing. It's been tough. I just keep pushing. You know, and the more you push, the more you achieve. Little by little, you're going to achieve your dream. All right? Action gives result. You always have to take action. Why do you show up? You show up to take action, right? If they say, oh, there's a job that pays $50,000, you know, and it's part-time, come tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for the interview, and then you wake up at 9 a.m. and you're brushing your teeth, taking your time, and get there at 11. Who is going to give you that interview? Yeah, Nira, who's going to give you that interview? Nobody, right? They're going to look at you like, oh, is she serious? Where's she going? The interview was at 6. You know, so action gives result. You have to take action to show up. You have to take action to show up. Self-reflection, self-realization, strength, all those things. You have to be able to let go of the hurt and understand that the power is in you. Don't hold back on the hurt. No, don't do that. Because the only way I became powerful, the only way my mind became strong is when I let go of blaming my father for not being there for me. I wasn't doing that anymore. The moment I discovered the power of my mind, I was like, this is about me. This is not about anybody else. So I'm going to be great. I'm going to be awesome right now, and I'm going to make it happen. You know? So you have to be able to let go. No matter what you've been through, no matter who have hurt you in the past, family member have abused you, family member, you know, whatever they've done, let go of it. You are the center of your life. Push it, make it happen. I have a quote that I wrote on my wall in my room that says, hustle so hard that your hater becomes your cheerleaders. Hustle so hard that your haters become your cheerleaders. Like people look at you, they're like, I don't like it. I mean, you hustle so hard, they start clapping for you. They don't even know what they're doing. Their hands are not even answering to their mind anymore. They're clapping because that's how great you are. You know, you hustle so hard, your haters will become your cheerleaders. Where there's a will, there's a way. Yes, Francine, you're right. Where there's a will, there's a way. Chancellor said it in the beginning, the will. You know, the will made it push to where he is today to understand his strength. You know, so for action to happen, there's supposed to be reflection, self-realization, strength, the power, the vision board, all those things are supposed to make you show up. Because when you show up, you're ready. I got the role, I got the role in Master of None, and it's on Netflix. You can watch it when you have your free time. Got the role in Master of None. How? When I got the call, I showed up straight. I was ready. I studied my line and I showed up. And it was just an opportunity that I got from being in the court to do my jury duty, where I met the friend of the casting director. And he told me, oh, you say you're an actor, you're in film school? Yes, I am. Wow, really? A week later, he called me, Cyrille, we have a casting and we need someone like you. I was there before the call even ended. I took the opportunity, I showed up, you know? So you have to be able to show up. You have to be able to show up. You have to be able to take action. Leave the excuses aside. Forget about the excuses. Take action. Jason, hustle so hard, your haters become your child. Yeah. That's my favorite quote. That's I think I need to make sure to put some type of how do you call it again? I have to make sure that I put a stamp on that with my name on it. Determination is the key to success. Have to work hard and push for it. 100% agree with you. Guess what? Who said this? Who said this? Rayon Shan said this. The only thing I'm going to change on your statement is work smart. You know, we don't work hard anymore, we work smart. Because when you work hard, guess what? You break your skin to achieve what you want to achieve. But when you work smart, it's sweet. It's sweet when you get it. All right? So determination is the key to success. I totally agree. Have to work smart and push for it so you get it. You know? So the harder you work, yes, work smart. Yes. You're welcome. You're welcome. You work smart because now you want to buy back time. You don't want to go to work and come back at midnight when your children are sleeping. You want to come back and read a story, a bedtime story to your children for them to go to bed. You know, this is where we are. The pandemic showed us now that we can work from home for 2 days and work in the office for 3 days. So that you're closer to your family. You drive your children to school and all that. That's smart working, right? You know, that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing right now. So it's very important that you understand all these concepts. Very, very important that you understand all these concepts. The power of the mind is the power of success. Self-actualization, understanding who you are and why you are where you are is imperative for success in everything that we're doing. Try not to aspire to be a regular person. Try not to aspire to just be, oh, I'm just going to do this and I'm just going to have a job and I just want to have it. No. You were not made for that. You were made. Why are you not going to be the supervisor? Why are you not going to be the general manager? Why do you just want to be an employee? Why do you want to be average? Why do you want to be average? Let's cut the average thing right now. Remember what I spoke about, cutting the generational curses? If 3 people in your family before you were average, doesn't mean that you're supposed to be average. No, it's not genetic. It's not genetic. All right? So make sure to cut that generational curse. It's gone with them. They're average. You guess what? You're coming to take over. You're coming to take over. You are coming to take over. All right. Nice. It's 2:20. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to give you guys the floor. let's have a back and forth. Q&A, question answers, whatever you want. The 3G dedicate determination. I didn't want to use that. So many people use that. I like it. I like it though. Dedication, discipline, you know, is determination, dedication, and discipline. Yeah, that's the 3Gs. Determination, dedication, and discipline. Yeah. Is the beauty. When you use that and do it, beautiful. It works. It works. You know. Don't get quiet on me, guys. The floor is yours. Determination mindset. Yes, Arno.
I just put down a demonstration. I have multiple Ds, but I'm just thinking.
Yeah, that works. J Q&A. Can you ask anyone who have a question? Anyone who want to say something or just speak? Let's do that.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, Cyrille, I'm still like with this cough. But yeah, no, I mean, the one thing I want to say, like, you know, when I listen to you speak, and we've worked on this now for many years, even before you were doing presentations, when you were a student and we were just like hanging out and doing volunteer work. The one thing that I admire, and I think that comes across so deeply and so profoundly, is that you have always had this vision for yourself, and it's really probably the most important thing that anybody can have. It's not, everybody. When I encounter students over the years, the 14 years, the first thing people come in with is, yeah, I don't really think I'm a leader. I don't really want to be a leader. I don't know if I want to put this much time in. I don't know if I don't want to get into politics. People say a lot of different things. But the first people who come in the door and succeed at the very beginning are the ones who see it as an opportunity. They set up a vision. The first vision for the Hostos Student Leadership Academy was, we want T-shirts. It wasn't a big vision. But it was a vision for the people who were there before I ever existed in their world. And because that was their vision, when they brought it to me, I said, we have to make that real. And within a year of that, we made our own logos, which nobody's allowed to do, right? CUNY is like a stickler for, you're going to follow our policy. This is the way things are going to go. The pins that we wear, you guys haven't seen the pins because we haven't been on campus. But the pins that we wear and that we give out and we pin on people, politicians and everybody, those pins were created by folks like you.
Yep,
who at the beginning, the only vision they had was a T-shirt. Right? And it doesn't seem like that's a big step, but it's a major step. When you realize that you pinned the governor, this was David, it was years ago. So when you pin the governor with a Hostos Student Leadership Academy ambassador pin, that's a big deal, right? Because you're saying, this is something that we created as a group. And then over the years, all the volunteer activity that we've done, everything that becomes an annual event, was somebody came to me and said, we need to do this, right? We had to go to Isabella Geriatric Facility. I didn't know where Isabella Geriatric Facility was. I wouldn't be able to find it on a map. It was in the middle of Washington Heights. But somebody said, we have to go there. And we went there multiple times. Somebody said, we have to do AIDS walk. We did AIDS walk. We had somebody said, we have to do this. Alzheimer's, right? Everybody anything that we've, model United Nations, right? Chris was talking about this morning about the Millennium Goals. We did model United Nations, we did this Millennium Campus Conference. That wasn't Jason who came in the room and said, I have a vision, we're going to go. No, it was a student who came to me and said, we have to do this. It was Abdubaki Bukhari and Michael Cruz, who's going to speak later this week, who came to me about the Millennium Campus Conference. And it was Diana Sanchez who said we have to do the Model UN. And then we did it 11 years straight, right? Without stopping until the pandemic stopped us this year. Right? So it's all about your vision. And you may not think right now that your vision is that big, or you may not think that your vision is going to take you somewhere, or you may look at your vision and say, I want it to take me somewhere, but you're not putting enough time and effort into it, or enough energy, or enough belief into it, whatever, however you're looking at it. But it will. And it's all about what Cyrille was saying, right? It's like, if you want to own a business, you need to do something to make that business a reality. If you want to be in politics, you got to put yourself in an internship and work with a politician, right? Leighton's on the call. He worked with the congressman earlier this year, right? If you want to go to Columbia, it's got to be your vision, and you got to push through. And even if there are obstacles set up in front of you, right, you have to do it. And if you want to, I don't know, you want to be an artist, you want to have your material out there, you want to be repping, and you want to see your name up in lights on billboards, whatever it is, you have to put yourself in the venue, right? And it starts with the vision. It starts with having a vision, and then realizing that it's not just about seeing it, it's about putting yourself in the place. Now, what I do, and what we've always tried to do, and that's how we just sort of talk about the volunteering and everything, or the conferences, is to say, you bring it to me, and I'm going to get us there, right? So if you bring it to my desk, and you have a mentor, right? So we talk about real mentors and tangential mentors. Cyrille says he's going to monitor some people, right? Follow them in social media. Take him up on that. Force him to do that, right? So that he's your mentor, right? So that when you have that vision and he's following you around and checking up on you, that you suddenly now have somebody you say, okay, well, I can't get in the room. Can you help me get in the room?
Yes, sir.
Can you put me in touch with somebody? So my favorite thing to do every year, right, for the folks who want to go into diplomacy, is to have them text message with our United States diplomat. Right? We have a student who sat in the same seats that you're sitting right now, in a real seat, but you're sitting in the virtual seats, who's serving as United States diplomat in Qatar, right? Samantha Jackson. And you can ask people who are part of our group who want to go into diplomacy. I will have them text message with Samantha so that they know what the road is. Because if you have a vision, right, I want to be a diplomat, and you don't follow that vision, it's not going to get you anywhere. So we had one of our alumni who spoke at the very last workshop of the semester in the fall is Yanir. I'm going to, my cold is kicking in right now. Anyway, no, I've lost my mind. Anyway, but I took her to meet Sam in person after the swearing-in ceremony in Washington, D.C. And the bottom line was, here, you have this vision, you want to be a diplomat, here's the diplomat. Here's the person who just graduated, who just got sworn in, who was about to go off to, she was about to go off to Indonesia at that point. Here's your person. Ask the question, right? Get the contact. Be able to connect over and over again with this person so that you now have this as a resource. And I firmly believe that that's what Cyrille does, because he's done it. I've seen him connect people, connect the dots for people. So you took Carlos all the way to Africa, right?
I took Carlos to Africa, yeah.
I've seen it in person, in real life. So I don't invite people just to talk to you who are just gonna blow smoke around you, right? So that you feel like, oh, I feel so empowered. No, we're in January. It's January 10th. I'm expecting by May you're going to be ready to take on the world.
Yeah.
And to take on your vision for the world to make it. That's my contribution.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jay. That was real. And again, I totally appreciate you just bringing me, every time, and with my crazy topics and just empowering people. It is, again, when you do this for many, many years, it becomes a part of you, and I'm just honored just being part of this. I want to respond to somebody. Sarah Diaby said, I'm thinking of joining the military. How bad are you thinking of joining the military, Ms. Diaby? So when anyone says, I'm thinking of joining something or doing something, how bad are you? From a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you want to be in the military? I'm currently living with my aunt in Kansas in a military base. I don't come from a family of money, so I think joining the military will build, yes, everything you say is right, but your reason for doing it needs to be right, and it needs to be something that you feel inside of your gut that's something that you have to do. You know, your motives, your motivation need to be right. You know, you have to be very, very ready. You know, don't do it for the wrong reasons. You know, don't be intimidated, should not be a word that you use. You have to build your mindset with all what we said for the past 2 hours to put you in a place where you need to be so that you make the best military career ever. You know, coming from an African household is difficult, but I understand, you know, but you can do it. You can do it if that's what you think your mind wants you to do. Everything starts from here, Ms. Diaby. Everything starts from here. The moment you create it in your consciousness, you create it in your mind, and you visualize it. Remember, again, you're going to read books that you're going to see all these things I'm telling you. This is not, I didn't create these things. I used them and they worked for me. You create it in your consciousness and you visualize it and you put in work, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You know, it is going to happen. It's going to happen. So if that's what you want to do, please don't stop yourself from doing it. Just keep pushing. Work hard, hit the gym, do the things you have to do that's required for you to get into the military so that you get ready. You know, and when you get in there, you're not getting there as just a regular soldier. You get in there as a leader. You're bringing in your leadership abilities so that you're used to be the best version of yourself in that place. Who knows what generational curse you're going to break when you get in there? Who knows? You know, you may not know. Maybe you're the chosen one that's supposed to be in there at that time to change the things that you have to change. You know, I mentor one of my young mentees just went back at the base last week. He came back to be with his family for Christmas and New Year. You know, same thing. It was the same process. He was back and forth, but he took the test over and over until his grade was at the best place where we needed him to be. And then he got in. Now he didn't get in just as a regular person. He's going there as someone that has some type of, you know, rank. So it's very important, you know. Yanira said, your topic resonated in my life because that is something I've promised to myself this year. Graduated from Hostos was a decision of being there no matter what. I was afraid of studying because of all the barriers I had. However, I finished. She finished, right? However, I finished. And now that God demonstrated me, it is a matter to believe, show up and do the effort. Everything is possible, but things can't happen if we're not supposed to. Okay. Yeah. So again, you can do it. You keep thinking of it. Ms. Diaby said, I keep thinking of it, so I think I will pursue it. Yes, if that's what you want to do, do it. If inside of you, you feel like you want to do it, do it. Let me give the floor to Charles Duo. His hand is up. Charles, your hand is up.
Thank you, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm okay. I just want to say thank you for this motivational speech because it's really encouraging everyone in this group chat right now. I remember growing up, my dad always told me there's nothing good comes easy. You have to work towards it. Mm-hmm. And this last summer rather, I made a goal to run every morning by 4 o'clock at Central Park. But it came a time that it rained that morning, so it was very heavy. So I had a real argument in my mind, like, it's raining, outside is cold, so just sleep, just take the day off. But on the other side, my mind told me that it's a dedication, so you have to work towards it. So I couldn't stop. I kept going until the summer ends. So basically, it's all hard work and determination. Mm-hmm. That's why I just want to chop in.
I love it. I love your contribution, Charles. And you could have slept that night, you know, and
exactly.
Said, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to get wet. Guess what? You need that extra run on a wet morning to show you that you can do it anyhow. You can do it anyhow, you know. So I love it. I truly love it. That's a great testimony. Your mind, when your mind is at the right place, guys, everything is possible. When your mind is at the right place, everything is possible. You know, when we started the Bronze Rising Initiative with Thomas Ramos, Jason Arthur, we went out there knocking at doors in the NYCHA buildings because we knew that the Bronx was the highest affected in COVID, and we didn't have any resources from the state or the city at the time. But we decided, 7 of us, we decided to go and knock at the doors and bring the resources in the community centers of the NYCHA. People thought we were crazy, you know, but mentally we were ready, you know. And after a couple of months, we gave in 35,000 vaccines to to our community, the natural facilities and everything, you know, and we had a one-on-one with at the doors all the time to know why people didn't want to take the vaccines. You know, now we're everywhere. You know, we have a data to prove, you know, what most people don't have. We have a whole database to show what we did, and now more resources are coming in the community. It's all your mindset. Put your mind to what you want to do, you know, because it's not going to meet you where you are. We're so comfortable, you know, everybody on this call, we're in America, it doesn't matter documented, undocumented, we're great. We live in the dream, right? We see high-rise buildings every morning when we wake up. We have a train to go to where we want to go to, buses and everything. There's some people in countries who don't even have half of what we have, even 1/3 of what we have, but they're still making a living every day, you know? So we have to step out of our comfort zone and understand that our mind needs to be at the right place. When your mind is at the right place, nothing can stop you from succeeding. Nothing. I mean, nothing. It could be a small thing like this, and you're going to achieve it just because you've changed your mind. You know, we have to break the generational limitations and poverty. Yes, Estelle, you're right. You know, if you look back at where you came from and you think it wasn't a good feeling, why do you want to do the same things that the other people that were here before you did? Their dream was a t-shirt, but now we have a whole winter session. We have pins, we have offices, we have a whole section just dedicated to leadership at Hostos. But in the beginning, it was just, they just wanted to wear a t-shirt and say they were leaders, you know? But when Jason came with his big dreams, he took it to a whole different level. You know, you have to be able to dream big, guys. Why do you want to be regular? Why do you want to hold yourself back? Why do you want to hold yourself back? Why do you want to put yourself in a place where you're going to regret tomorrow? Oh, I wish I had done. No. You don't want to live in that. You don't want to live in a place of I wish I had. That's not a good place to be. That is not a good place to be. Living in regret is a curse, man. It's a curse because you can't catch the time anymore. The time is gone. The power that you had when you were young, you don't have it when you're in your 45, 50s. Your bones are making noises. Your muscles are getting pains just by you taking a nap, you know? So now is the time for you to take advantage of this. Nothing should stop you from succeeding. I mean nothing. You know, if you have not seen someone who did it, look at me. I'm a prime example. You know, and I love it because the testimony don't lie, right? I was a student when Jason was already at Hostos, and he was our ally. Anytime and we have a blockage somewhere, the first person we call is Jason, because we knew he would find a way. Even if he has to break a couple of rules to make us be comfortable, he will make it happen. You know, and this is the essence of it right now. Me being invited, and I said that day when he called me and he was like, "You need to speak at this thing," I was like, I want to speak with Jason because am I convincing enough? And not because I was doubting myself, but because looking at the person in front of me, looking at where we came from, I just wanted to get that extra validation from him. I said, Jay, just tell me, why do you keep inviting me? You know? So I know my strength. I'm very humble and very, very honored anytime I'm given the opportunity to be somewhere, because I know that it doesn't matter. My presence is going to change someone's life. It does not matter if it's just one person. I don't need the whole people on this group to change their life, but just one person take this message and go and do something great with it. I'm sleeping well. Like I'm going to bed happy. You know, because the power of knowledge is not about keeping it. The power of knowledge is sharing the knowledge. The more you share, the more blessed you are. It's very important for you guys to understand that. You know, so remember, remind yourself, you're not here by mistake or by coincidence. You're here by divine timing. Why are you here now? Why are you here? Why are you in Hostos? Why are you doing this? Why are you everywhere you are? Ask yourself why you are there. Miss Diaby, why are you in a military camp right now with your auntie? You should have been somewhere else. It means that some way, somehow, the universe is shifting you towards your calling. Now you're thinking about going into the military. Why? Because you're already in the setting. You're already seeing how things are happening. Why are you doubting me? Why you guys want me to start preaching right now and I'm already done? Like it gets me excited when I think about how the universe maneuver things with people and put them in places where they're supposed to be, and we still close our eyes and we don't take We don't look at the opportunities. We don't look at the opportunities. You know, one of my mentors, I say I was successful during the pandemic. One of my mentors made millions and millions of dollars during the pandemic, millions, because he just understood what the pandemic was bringing. The pandemic was bringing closure. It was bringing people staying in their homes. So he had to create things to put us in a way where we're going to communicate. They did Zoom, they did all those great things, and they became, you know, they took off financially. You know, so it's bad, but it's good at the same time for some people. But you have to wake up on time. Charles, you have to wake up and go and run. It doesn't matter. Rain, sweat, whatever. You have to, if that's what you gave yourself to do, you have to wake up every morning and do it. It takes 21 days to build a habit, brother and sisters. You do it for 21 days, it's not just a hobby, and it's a habit now. And then it becomes a character. Now you can't stop doing it. You're going to fight everyone who stops you from doing something that you've already created as a habit. You know, so it's very, very, very important for you to understand how dedication, self-realization, reflections, power, the power of the mind, you know, and the understanding of where you are, the understanding of what time is all about. For you to get to 10,000 steps, you have to take the first one, right? Charles said it, it's all about taking the first step. If you don't take the first step, how are you going to know that you can do the second step or the third steps? But it takes dedication. It takes dedication, guys. You know, the sky is not the limit, man. The limit is your mind. And practice don't make perfect. Practice makes better. I debunk all those things that people are saying wrong out there. I'm against it. You know, and sometimes one day we went to Albany and somebody was giving a speech on the stage, and he said, "I'm telling you guys, the sky is the limit." And the whole students of USA said, "No, the sky is not the limit. The limit is in your mind." I almost ran out of the room, because you empower people so much and they become aware of what those things that are limiting us. It's the things that you tell yourself that limit you. If you keep telling yourself the sky is the limit, you're not going to go beyond the sky. You're just going to be regular. You know? All right, guys. I'm excited. I've learned so much during this presentation, and I'm ready to grow to my next level. I think my emails, my social media handles are going to be shared with you guys. Reach out, stay in touch. Those who have questions, those who feel like they want to get more information from me, I'm open. I'm very, very open. I do a lot of private mentorship and life coaching on the side. And I'll be very, very honored to work with you guys if you need me, right? So Jay have all my information. Andre know where to get me. You know, I can't hide.
So it was Unaris Liriano that I took to visit with Sam. So I want to correct that for the video. But I want to say one other thing. I don't think I've told this in the virtual world. I once told this, I think, in person. Years ago, years before I ever got to Hostos, when I was working as a teacher, one Thanksgiving, I wasn't into Thanksgiving. I decided I was going to go to the biggest mission in all the city of New York, and probably the entire world, to feed the hungry and the homeless for Thanksgiving. So I went to the Bowery mission, and I was there. It was the break of dawn, right? So I was there like 5 o'clock to whatever it was, 10 o'clock, whatever the hours were. And I did the whole thing, right? I volunteered. I fed people, you know, literally put, you know, food in front of people, the whole thing. And as I was leaving, the mayor came in. That was Rudy Giuliani. We won't mention his name ever again over here, but okay. So, but as I left, I had such a feeling of emptiness. I didn't feel like I really did anything, right? So I did something, but I didn't feel like I really did anything. And there's a reason why I tell this story, and the reason why I tell this story with Cyrille. So when I got to Hostos and this job that I didn't know that I was good for, or didn't know that I was the right person for, but somehow somebody else had a vision for me that I should apply for the job, and that's how I got the job. And then lots of other people had the vision for me, who decided that I was the right person for the job. The whole thing is a long story in there, but just to the volunteering part. So my vision for volunteering for this group is that we never do it alone. It's always a collaborative effort. It's done as a community. So you want to come to me and tell me that you want to volunteer? Nobody's going to say, no, don't volunteer. You go ahead and do that. But in all the projects that we do all year round, 52 to whatever number of projects we do every year, it's about community. It's about being a community, going out into community and serving the community together, right? So that at the end of that event, you feel something, right? So we'd often have lunch together afterwards. We take photos afterwards, ride the subway afterwards, maybe go out with each other afterwards, the whole thing, so that you actually felt like you were committed to something bigger than yourself and you had that connection. And one of my favorite volunteer activities ever that we've ever done was with Cyrille, and he and Adrian and the folks over at BCC decided that we were going to create a collective of all the Bronx colleges, and we were going to do a volunteer project, and we did it at the Friends of Brook Park. And I remember that day. Every time I think about volunteering, I remember that day, because we volunteered, we built things, we built structures, we cleaned up, we painted, fed chickens, the whole thing. And then at the end, we were sitting around a big circle around a fire. This was daytime, a fire. And we started cooking potatoes and corn on the fire. And I don't know if that strikes you guys as like something so very powerful and unique. But I just want, in terms of a vision of like, I left the Bowery mission feeling like I hadn't done anything because I was alone, right? Because there was nothing to connect me, to like ground me, to make me feel like there was something substantial about it. And then I referenced this day, which I think about today as clear as day.
Yeah.
All those people to ground me, to make me realize we did something extraordinary in that day, and we had something as a collective memory that would last and give us the impetus to do lots of other things. So lots of those people who were part of that group have gone on to do extraordinary things, including Cyrille. So thank you for that memory, and I just wanted to share that with you all.
Thank you so much. That was a great day too. Saint was there, Adrian, Fifi, thank you so much, Jay, and it's always an honor and a pleasure to be invited here with your students. One thing that I love about your program is I see growth every day I come. I've spoken about Andre, Yanira that was there the last time. I see new faces that I'm surely going to see again. I see Chancellor, such a powerful and touching story. Brenda and Miss Diaby. Thank you so much for your participation. Even if it's just text message on the group. You guys were an awesome crowd. I truly had fun, just sharing. And I always say this, if you were touched by what you heard, make sure to share it with other people. And if you had some reservation or something that I said that you didn't like, make sure to reach out to me, because that's how I grow, right? I speak in front of crowds. I've spoken, my highest crowd so far is 800 people. 1,000, and I look forward to growing to becoming one of the best speakers, one of the best motivational speakers of my generation, because I'm passionate about it. I love to do it, truly love to do it. I just want people's lives to be better. I'm successful, so I want to share success. I'm empowered, so I want to empower you guys and you ladies. So it's very important that we always have these times where we reflect. I know you guys will have different presentation, but please, the knowledge that you're taking in all those different presentations, always put it in the back of your mind that the power of your mind is the most powerful tool. And when you take those knowledge from those different presenters, apply your mind to it, and the sky is not going to be the limit, So don't let anything hold you down. Do not let anything hold you down. You can do anything you put your mind to. Very important. So thank you.
Estelle, you want to say something?
I saw somebody.
Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. Who is that? Was that me?
Go ahead, Estelle. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Cyrille. I was in the middle of session, so I just have a short break. I couldn't talk before.
It's okay.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing great. And you?
Good, thank you. Good seeing you.
Yeah,
and I just want to say thank you so much. It's a pleasure to always see you, and excited to just waiting to see what the wisdom that you bring to us, the ideas that you share to empower us. And I just want to say thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you like all the time. Yeah.
You're welcome, Estelle. You're welcome. It's great. Thank you so much. And don't work too hard.
Sure.
Work smart.
I just want to say two things. I want to capitalize on what you said, which is, this week is about, sort of collecting ideas and sort of, grabbing hold of different things. The one thing that I've learned over these last 14 years is sometimes the ideas don't necessarily generate something immediately. But what you do is you're walking down the road or you're spending some time doing something, and then all of a sudden you remember that you had this experience, you had that conversation, and then you may need to go back and get a little bit more. And that's why Cyrille is great, because he'll be there for you. And then I also want to capitalize on your son, who came to one of our in-person
Yes, he did.
workshops and actually was running the workshop. So somebody was saying, "Oh my, you got to be kidding me about the books." No, his son is the real deal. So when I saw the picture of the book that was going to come out, I immediately wrote to him and said, "Congratulations." He said, "Not for me, it's for him." It's he said, "Yes, absolutely." But he literally was at one of our workshops. I think we recorded it too. He literally took over. He's
he took over.
So
Yeah,
he's talking some real stuff. So let's give Cyrille a nice round of applause, virtual or otherwise. I don't know how we do this, this day and age. Thank you so much for joining us this year to kick off the year right. For those of you who joined us today in the afternoon, thank you so much for being here. I love doing this. I really wish we could do it in person, but the rules of the world put challenges up. Hopefully next year, we say next year we will be there back together and do those great sessions. But in the meantime, thank you for joining us. And tomorrow we go again. Great workshops in the morning and the afternoon. I hope to see you at them. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am going to, at the end of the workshops on Friday, I will send out an email with information with regard to the speakers, their contact information, as well as the survey of what you saw at the workshop. So, but if you want Cyrille's information before that, please feel free to email me, and I'll get that to you. Arnold has his hand raised. Arnold.
Yes. Really, I don't think, I just have when you turn on your screen, I didn't see anything for Friday. I was even email. What's Friday?
No, we only do Monday to Thursday, Arnold. We try to give people off a day of rest, because we used to do is the
I remember
Monday,
that.
Yeah, the Monday after we would do the MLK, and this year we're still working on seeing if we could do something for MLK Day, which is the following week. But I'll give information about that, but nothing on this Friday.
Okay, cool. I'm just double checking my calendar. And then something.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. I will see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Good to know, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you, boss. Feel better.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.